we would sort of always define stakeholders as real people who actually have probably a contractual or near contractual relationship with the organisation, and they're people who actually can give you feedback on business practices and tell you something intelligent about the organisation. Of course we'd include NGOs where they have an engagement with the organisation, or where they should do, or whether you, so we have we're very open to looking at a wide stakeholders in a wide context. But we find it absurd that some other people's idea of stakeholder engagement is, let's start off with a list of all these sort of international NGOs, and then they get a bit surprised when they get no useful feedback from them about their little business. You know, so whereas we say, well, if you go and talk to your customers and your employees and your suppliers and your shareholders and people who actually know you, you'll find that you get lots of useful feedback about fair and responsible business practices, which is obviously the heart of what we're doing. So I would say the next one I think to focus on might be the HR bit of our assessments, which again some people think is a bit odd because we're looking at probably a list of things that most people would say is just obvious common sense about having clear contracts and good communication, respecting freedom of association, and having clear pay setting processes, and so on it goes. And there's sort of 20 items we look at in the sort of HR bit of it. And the things that we find going wrong vary again by size of organisation. And in small businesses, again, you get a completely different model where you often find, particularly in the private sector, really lax in terms of process sometimes, but combined with really happy employees. Not always the case, but you know, and we're relaxed about that. We would say to small companies, the fact that you've managed to get such motivated people, and you made such a terrible job of making it look like the HR department of Unilever is great. You know, that outcome where you've got people who are actually saying, no, the way that pay and bonuses is decided might not have ever been written down in some sort of algorithm I have to go and study and learn at home, but it's been done in a way that I think is completely fair. I think people here have been treated equally well. And funnily enough, when we've done work in the public sector, you often get the opposite combination of highly formalised process, all driven to get equal outcomes, combined with some of the most miserable people you've ever met ever, who's all saying, well, I don't care that that process is supposed to work like that, it's not fair, we're not given responsibility, we're not free to actually innovate, to give our best at work, because we're pinned down by too much process. And we hate that, and we sort of give that big black marks, even though the process would fly through ISO audits and so on. So